In this video, I'm going to prove my point beyond any doubt. And first, I'm going to tell you the title of the book, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to be talking about. The title of the book is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Now, who is Daniel Goleman, and who co-signs with him? Well, who he is, I don't know, and I don't fucking care. It's like I would hope you would not care who the fuck I am. But who co-signs with him? John Kabat-Zinn, Ph.D. Carol Tarvis, Ph.D. Also authors of Where You Go, There You Are, author of Anger, The Misunderstood Emotion. Jerome Kagan, professor of psychology at Harvard. So a professor of fucking psychology agrees with me. So excuse me if a bunch of bootlicking low IQ cops and out-of-touch parents and out-of-touch local small-town fucking shrinks don't. Excuse me. So I'd like to draw your attention to page 19, and I quote, "The fight or flight response. Heart rate and blood pressure increase. Large muscles prepare for quick action. Has to do with your thalamus, your amygdala, and your visual cortex. Anatomically, the emotional system can act independently of the neocortex. Some emotional reactions and emotional memories can be formed without any conscious cognitive participation at all." So they know how to get a reaction because they know it's automatic, and the same people that tell you this, it's written in the textbook of the psychiatrist as well. They're taking advantage of your fight or flight response when they go out of their way to provoke that response. I go on. Page 48, it talks about the different kinds of personalities. The self-aware, the engulfed, and the accepting. I'm the self-aware. Aware of their moods as they are having them. These people understandably have some sophistication about their emotional lives. Their clarity about emotion may undergird other personality traits. They are autonomous and sure of their own boundaries, are in good psychological health, and tend to have a positive outlook on life. When they get into a bad mood, they do not ruminate and obsess about it and are able to get out of it sooner. In short, their mindfulness helps them manage their emotions. So, even though I have every reason in the world to be pissed off, I had to allocate 20 fucking troops the day of the protest tomorrow. 20 troops. Okay? 20 of them. To make sure that my enemies don't strike when I strike like they threatened. Cops threatened to raid me illegally. Gang members threatened to try to break in my home, even though they don't really know where it is. So I've allocated 10 patrolmen and 10 fortified troops with sniper rifles to watch over my home. So you think I don't understand managing emotions, okay? I'm the self-aware guy, and I'm dealing with the engulfed. My dad is engulfed with his emotions, swamped by his emotions, helpless to escape them. I go on to page 83. Foul moods, fouled thinking. This book, co-signed by a psychology professor from Harvard, agrees with me about what's going on, not the bootlickers, not the shrinks. I worry about my son. He just started playing on the varsity football team, so he's bound to get an injury sometime. It's so nerve-wracking to watch him play that I've stopped going to his games. I'm sure my son must be disappointed that I'm not watching him play. But it's simply too much for me to take. The speaker is in therapy for anxiety. So what's the problem? Is the problem with a mental disorder with your fucking prophet? Or is it an anxiety problem on record that my parents have? My dad has high blood pressure. My mom is treated with medication for anxiety. On record, that's the problem they have. Nobody disagrees that that's the problem they have. But everybody disagrees about my diagnosis, including the one fucking person who did the research and knows. Me. Including the one person who's not going off a 1 fucking minute interview, but the life story. Me. The speaker is in therapy for anxiety. She realizes that her worry is interfering with leading the kind of life she would like. But when it comes time to make a simple decision, such as whether to watch her son play football, her mind floods with thoughts of disaster. She is not free to choose. Her worries overwhelm her reason. Now, need I explain to you why a fucking bootlicking white lady who lives in the cuts, who's antisocial, out of touch, suffering from anxiety, and a doctor who works in an environment that feeds into his own anxiety and his own high blood pressure, do I really have to explain to you why they need therapy for anxiety and how it's interfering with their decisions? And how that played into their decision to betray me to the New World Order for nothing. For defending myself in my own room. For yelling about their mistreatment. As we have seen, worry is the nub of anxiety, damaging effect on mental performance of all kind. So, when you're bootlicking, and you're anxious, and you're full of shit, you're affecting everybody's lives. You're affecting your own mental performance. But such mental rehearsal is disastrous cognitive static when it becomes trapped in a stale routine that captures intention, intruding on all other attempts to focus elsewhere. Anxiety undermines the intellect. In a complex, intellectually demanding and high-pressure task, such as that of air traffic controllers, for example, or a brain surgeon, having chronically high anxiety is an almost sure predictor that a person will eventually fail in training or in the field. This is why my parents failed with me, because they are working with their anxiety, not with common sense. They are listening to their anxiety, not to the patient. Anxiety also sabotages academic performance of all kind. 126 different studies of more than 36,000 people found that the more prone to worries a person is, the poorer their academic performance. So when my dad was beating me up every day after school when I didn't bring home A's, I wonder if that was contributing to the environment of anxiety, which would eventually cause me to lash out when I realized it was the crackers' fault and my parents' fault, not mine. My goodness, man, what don't you get, motherfuckers? Jerome Kagan, a professor of fucking psychology at Harvard, agrees with me. What the fuck more do I need? Their own woods agree with me. What the fuck more do I have to say to you idiots? You imbeciles! You laymen's! You insolent fools! Rise up! God wills it!